Ave Satanis, everybody. So I haven't been posting in a while, and I felt like instead of just catching up by sitting and talking at the camera, talking at you guys, I would just show you something that I'm doing. Because I happen to be doing a lot of magics lately. This is me making a tea to help another witch enhance his scrying ability. I'm just doing it because I feel like it. I'm not being like paid to do it. I've lately been just like helping people that I want to help. Please don't just DM me for help if you don't really need it. But yeah, so I don't just throw herbs together. Everything I do requires enchantments, requires like this. I'm just anointing this silver candle with some vision oil. I've already anointed it with Satan oil because this witch works with the infernal as well, so why not? And this is Seer's Sight incense. I bought it at a local store in Salem. Okay. And I'm going to use the incense to cleanse this little baggie. Oh wow, is that? If this is too bright, I might move it to the main altar here. Okay. Just because if the glare is too much. Alright, and before I get into, I know some people gotta judge what herbs I'm using. I don't really give a shit. Some of them are gonna be no-brainer. But before I get into the herbs, on my little operation table, I have, can I even lift this up? Oh, no, it's sticking. I have drawn one of my personal sigils for psychic ability and inspiration, and then I have a black obsidian mirror on top, and I have a personal glyph for the moon on it. I have this cat's eye sphere, this raw piece of moonstone. This light does not do it justice at all. Labradorite and amethyst, and I also have my pendulum, although we're going to use that later. You know, other witches use wands and things. I haven't used a wand in so long. I use anathema every once in a while, but I use it as a weapon because that's what it is. Alright, so one thing to note with herbs that enhance psychic ability and making teas out of them or whatever, I mean, first of all, make sure nothing's toxic. I have checked in with the person I'm making this for and asked if he has any allergies. He said no. Even though he said no, I'm probably going to create a list of everything I put in this in case there is an allergic reaction and we can figure out what it is. So, not that I'm expecting one, but yeah, excuse my nose just being itchy for no fucking reason. These allergies are hitting hard. So first I want to get out my lavender. It's a no-brainer, right? I'm actually thinking, because I was gonna... It may be too much to have both lavender and jasmine. I was thinking one or the other could help it taste less terrible. And both kind of could work with this. Let's just go with what I need to be doing first and figure out the rest. And after each herb, I'm going to be enchanting, putting it all together. Actually, before I put it in the bag, excuse me, everything's a bit of a mess, right? I'm not really planning on crushing anything up. Most of the herbs are already crushed up. but I think it'd be nice to mix them properly before putting them in the bag. So I'm going to use my, is this the pestle or the mortar? I don't remember which part is which, but you know, the bowl part of the mortar and pestle. And we're going to start with some wormwood. I've used wormwood before to make my dreams a lot more colorful, if you know what I mean. Very good shit. I also have this like handy dandy little spoon thing that my sister got me. Super helpful. Otherwise I'd have leaves all up in my nails, and that's always fun. Okay, we're done with that. Don't believe I'll add too much of that. I'm going to add next, this may surprise some people, but dandelion leaf. And it's just good for you. It's good for your digestive system, I think, and an anti-inflammatory. Won't need as much, but it's a little something. I'm not really going to be explaining too much about each herb because, frankly, when it comes to the magical use of herbs, yeah, it's somewhat based on their medicinal qualities. But I feel like there's always some dispute about what planetary associations are with what and whatever the fuck. So if you get it, you get it. If you don't, I'm also just like seeing the person I have, like, this is very personal to that person. I'm seeing this open up, you know, as I'm enchanting this. Which brings me to eyebright. Now, the information they put on here has nothing to do with eyebright's magical qualities, but thanks to Lady Gravedancer, I've come to really appreciate eyebright. And I have not too many opportunities to get it, so I'm happy I was able to get it at the store when I had this in mind. Now, issue is it's so finely ground, I'm worried it's going to fall right through the mesh bag. So we'll see. Hopefully it doesn't create a whole ass mess. I'm only going to do one spoonful. It's also an astringent, anti-inflammatory, and anti-catarrhal. I don't even know how to say that. I really need to know more about the medicinal things, but all in due time. But eyebright, magically, the name gives it away. Very good at enhancing clairvoyant abilities and psychic sight in general. Scrying is kind of more a specified thing, but you know, doing it all on top of a scrying mirror, on top of my other mirror that we're working with here. Okay, now get into some things that may make more sense to people besides the wormwood. I have two different species or subspecies rather of mugwort, which is favorite herb, and it's mostly known for dream work, psychic ability, etc. The first type of mugwort I'm going to be using is like a Chinese variant on it. It's just that I've had it forever and it's quite strong. This one I actually need to be ground up a little bit. I don't really know if I'm going to actually grind it because it's a tea. I don't really need it ground. It's very leafy. I'm going to enchant after the Aya. That's what it's called. And I'm sorry if I'm not pronouncing it correctly because I really don't know how to master the tones of Mandarin and Cantonese, so Aya is how I'm pronouncing it. Or Chinese mugwort, whatever. It is like kind of slightly different texture than this. Here's where I'm kind of adding more specific purpose to this herb. I'm adding the depth of images in the scrying tools and the crystal balls and the mirrors, what have you, where I'm imagining things looking a little more three-dimensional, colorful, even moving. And then opening again the person's third eye. So okay, we're gonna add some of the American mugwort, I guess that is what it is. And we're gonna even boost that even more. After every herb, enchant. Also learned that from Lady Gravedancer. After every herb, enchant. I'm sharpening those images. I'm sharpening the ability to see them. Basically, yeah, making it more vivid. Now, next we're going to add some kava kava. It's not as strong as people say it is. Like, I've had it alone in a tea, and I don't know. Shrooms aren't even that strong on me unless I smoke weed with them. Okay. So, yeah, y'all know my favorite enhancement, and it ain't tea. But I used to make some mean-ass potions with anise, wormwood, mugwort. I think it was just those three, and I would like boil them in some kind of concoction. And it was bitter as fuck, but it made my dreams some technicolor realness. And the kava kava is just so that there's spiritual clarity mostly, and there's not a lot of room for doubt and just like, oh, is this just my imagination kind of thing. So. That's interesting. I just had like a vision where it may have been the witch's matron, and I should let them know what I saw later. So that's a reminder to me in this video. Okay. All right. I'm going to actually let the pendulum choose between the lavender and the jasmine, because I don't feel like they would go super well together, but I like both of them for this kind of thing. So we're gonna let the pendulum pick it. Okay, it's picking the jasmine. So we're gonna go with the jasmine. It's a very slight pick. Either one would have been fine, it seems, but clearly it was picking the jasmine. Alright. Question is, do I crush it up or do I just mix it? I think I'm just gonna mix it. And so jasmine, in this case, you haven't noticed the flowers kind of look like little spermies. I often think of fertility with jasmine, so in this case I'm thinking of growth. That this person's ability continues to grow after the tea is over, you know, after they're no longer using the tea. So that's important. Okay, so I'm going to stir it up together just a little bit, and then I'm going to enchant it all as one, and I'm going to use the pendulum to do that again. So, let's see, can I get a good position? I don't know, I like to not have my elbow floating, but okay. You'll see it like get really wide, but I'm seeing, like, in my mind, the sigil glowing, the composite sigil going over the herbs. And once the pendulum kind of calms down, I'll know that it's finished. Alright, it's really going, I guess. Alright, now I'm envisioning the sigil over this witch's third eye, over their scrying tools. Okay, it's almost done. In case anyone's curious, it was spinning theistic or clockwise in the northern hemisphere. I just let the pendulum swing however it wants to when I'm directing energy like that, although if I'm expanding things, it tends to spin DSL. So it is all set. Now I'm going to put it in this baggie. I'm going to actually, because I don't trust that eye bright, I'm going to actually put the baggie in a little container in case any of it just like falls out everywhere. And you know what? I just use my hands. And it's about 1 serving, but maybe I'll make more and put it in just the, oh, we can definitely add more. This is about 1 serving. Well, yeah, you could brew a good pot of tea with that for 1 person. Yeah, the eye bright did fall through a little bit. Okay. I'm probably going to enchant a little piece of amethyst as well and plop it in here because I have so many crystals I'm not even using anyway. Might as well preserve the potency of these herbs' energies. I find that tethering it to something a little more stable like a crystal, because plants, you know, these are dead plants, like, or dead parts of a plant. All right, so I'm going to kind of let it charge over the sigil overnight, and I would be near the altar, but closing it so my cat doesn't get into it. Looks less magical in the plastic, but don't worry about it. It's all done. Thank you for watching, and I hope this is fun to watch. I know it's not super duper exciting. I don't talk that much when I'm doing work, so it's a little awkward for me, but get a little glimpse into some of the stuff I do. I have filmed a way more elaborate thing, or at least parts of it, and I'm realizing that might be too spicy just be putting out in the public. So maybe I will put it somewhere safe where a chosen few can see it. But I will come back to y'all some videos. I have to catch y'all up on my clairvoyance stuff, but there's just so much to talk about, honestly. Like, there's so much to cover. So I'll get to it when I get to it, trust me. But I didn't want to leave y'all hanging with absolutely nothing from me on here. So I hope you'll have a wonderful night. I hope you had a glorious Nacht. And I think the eclipse is coming up, the lunar eclipse. So if you have anything planned for that, let me know in the comments. Until next time, thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.